Hey there Internet, Michael Besog here. In this video I'm going to discuss the first of the 7 questions, the question of why we are here as created beings. I'm going to assume you at least believe that in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. If we don't start with that assumption, then none of the things that I'm going to discuss will make any sense. So why are we here? Why did God make us? These are the same question. God did make us, and our continued existence is dependent upon God. We make things we need or want. We make meals, we create art, we build homes. These are all things we make because we either want or need something that we lack. But God is the all-knowing, all-powerful creator of all that is created. So this begs that question, what could he need? And the answer is simple. Nothing. Therefore, the next logical question is, what does God want? If we sit down, we think about what God is in relation to us, what he has called himself in relation to us, our creator, our father, then the answer can sort of become clear. God wants something to love. Not vice versa, as so many people think. We, as God's creation, exist for the purpose of being loved by God. He made good creatures, but not perfect creatures. Only God is perfect. And God did not make a mistake in creating imperfect creatures. Our imperfection is the doorway for his love to be shown. Let's look at an example of this in our own lives. If a parent sets out to have a child, in order for that child to love that parent, then for the good majority of the child's life, that parent would be unfulfilled. The child can only really think of itself. It rarely ever considers the needs of the parents. It's almost always me, me, me. On the other hand, raising a child offers nothing but opportunities to show love, to be loving. Now, of course, as with any loving parent, it's only natural that we love God back as his children. That begins by acknowledging our place as his creation. Now, as God's creation, we are given a choice between loving him and loving the world into which he put us, and that includes ourselves. We are part of that world. Since everything was created by God, even the choice to choose something other than him had to essentially be created by him. Everyone knows the story of the tree in the midst of the Garden of Eden. Because of Adam's choice, mankind was removed from perfect existence in the direct presence of God. But if you continue reading, you'll see that God did not stay in the garden either. Instead, he came out of the garden and shed the blood of animals in order to cover Adam and Eve. God made a place for Adam and Eve to dwell and experience his love, but without that choice, their understanding of his love would be incomplete. The choice Adam made was not between eating and not eating a fruit. It is the choice we all make, which is between creator and creation. Imagine a man works overtime every day for years until he has enough money to buy a diamond ring. He picks out a ring he thinks will perfectly represent him to the woman that he loves. Now imagine that when that woman of his dreams accepts the ring, she no longer sees him. All she does is stare at the ring and show it off to her friends, never once mentioning the wonderful man that gave her the ring. Everything in this world gives us a glimpse of him who created it. In everything, we see the fingerprint of God. He has provided for our every need. So in essence, the world is God's engagement ring to us. It's only natural that we enjoy the world. The problems arise from not acknowledging the fact that the world is a gift. So the real reason God gave us the gift, just as the real reason a man gives an engagement ring, is to give us a taste of the great things he wishes us to have. Every pleasure in this world is but a shadow of the pleasure of being in God's presence. Every time we laugh or eat something delicious, every time we smell something wonderful or see something beautiful, every time we hear an amazing song or feel that tingle down our spine when something touching happens, we should think of him. Every pleasure we experience is supposed to be a taste of the pleasure of life with God. When we fall in love here, we should want that much more to feel the uninhibited love of God. Our very life is diagrammatical of the life that God has. Okay, perhaps that's a bit difficult to understand. If we are, this is metaphor, if we are, let's say, three-dimensional, then he is infinitely dimensional. And not literally, it's still metaphor. Okay, maybe that's still a little strange. what we have is not really life. It's this kind of, sort of life. But God's life is real life. It's kind of like watching a TV show. You can never understand what life is like by watching a TV show because you only see this little glimpse of it. We are like characters in a TV show compared to God. So we're created to be loved by God. The way we are created and the place in which we exist is such because it allows us to experience God's love, but gives us the ability to choose to reject it. For without that choice, we would not know it as love. Stay tuned for the next video, number 2 in the series, asking, what is sin? Be safe, and I'll see you soon.